And we're on air.
Welcome to another edition of the Bowls Revolution podcasts. This is number 7, if you want to take future reference. What we're going to be dealing with today is, firstly, the Olympics. Why isn't bowls in the Olympics? Or even the Paralympics, which it seems ably suited to. We follow that with the angry club bowler, who talks about Wicks. And after that, the Get the Ump is talking about people leaving the green. But first, I must welcome back my glamorous co-host, who has a reason for being away and is now about to tell us.
Well, last week I lost my mother. My mother passed away, and it's been quite a sad experience, really, because she was my best friend and she was my greatest fan. I'm proud to say that she was a bowler had been a bowler since she was in her mid-30s, right the way through until she taught me how to bowl. But what I really want to say to you is, if you have parents still alive, start making memories with them, because I have wonderful memories of my mother and it has sustained me over the last few weeks or the last couple of weeks. Make memories and hold on to them and you'll never regret it. I can promise you that. Fond memories of my mother. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that. Now let's move on straight to why bowls is not included in the Olympics or the Paralympics. Now, we've been doing some research with Mr.
Neil Dalrymple,
Yep.
who is the chief executive of World Bowls, and he's written the most spectacular article. Sorry, head full of spaghetti. He's written the most lovely article about how we can get bowls into the Olympics. But that will not be the next Olympics in Los Angeles. It will be the 2032 Olympics in Brisbane, because apparently the wheels that turn awfully slowly.
Don't they just? We've got to get somebody onto the Olympic committee, haven't we? That's the thing, because they regard us as a pastime rather than a sport.
Yeah,
Well,
and they also say that that bowls is an unequal played in unequal playing conditions. Well, and they go on to talk about right-handed and left-handed, and talking about the weather. Well, other sports are affected by the weather. Cricket, golf, they're in the Olympics. Shooters and archers, and and all that sort of thing. So why can't we have bowls? I mean, it doesn't tally, does it, really?
It's such an ideal sport, especially for Paralympics. It
Absolutely.
couldn't be any better.
Oh, great. Well, I've always said that bowls is a wonderful, wonderful sport for recuperation. I mean, if you've had a hip transplant, a knee transplant, or you're getting over a broken leg or arm injury, what better physiotherapy is there than walking up and down and delivering bowls? I think it's great therapy.
Especially when already included as skateboarding, surfing, climbing,
breakdancing.
What
was that about? Did you see it? I'd rather watch submarine racing.
They didn't put something out of my mind.
Actually, they could put that as an Olympic sport.
Well, they would, with breakdancing involved. I mean, one of the other reasons that it's not in the Olympics is because it's not included in the Paralympic situation. Apparently, we're more likely to be considered for the Olympics if we're in the Paralympics. But what's Paralympic breakdancing then?
Well, I think it's most ungainly.
I guess, with all due respect.
People perceive bowls as being an old person's sport. But you look at the youngsters that there are in our club. I mean, we've got a thriving young section and growing all the time. I mean, the Devon juniors are a really strong side. England juniors are a really strong side. So I don't see how they can possibly say that that bowls is for older people. Older people aren't competitive. But the youngsters they're hugely competitive.
Well, that's part of the revolution, isn't it? We have to make bowls available to everybody,
Yeah.
including people who go to work
Yeah.
and people who even go to school.
Well, that's what happened basically when I was Section 5 secretary. And I'm going back to 2012, 13, when we had to accommodate working girls and schoolgirls in our county competitions, the county knockouts outdoors, because they were always done on a Monday and Tuesday when people are either at work or at school. So I said, you're going to have to play these games either in the evening or at weekends.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play these knockouts, so it's all inclusive. It has to be inclusive.
Now, what does Mr. Dalrymple think we should be doing?
Well, he says, and I'll have it here on my phone here. I've got it here. Here we go. He says that first of all we have to grow our membership. Now that's quite important because that's down to the grassroots bowlers and grassroots clubs. You have to start recruiting. And that we have to also make it globally appealing, so that both this country and a number of other countries we can spread it across the world with its participants.
But
because
the individual clubs, though, they could do something.
Oh,
about
absolutely,
that.
yes, they can.
Membership drives, and that's what they've got to do to make it more popular. Concentrate on increasing their membership, including young people.
That's right. And you've got to increase the sport's popularity and profile from a spectator and broadcast perspective. So we've got to bring in perhaps shorter formats of playing competitions, events like they do in the Commonwealth Games, and also got to make the sport more commercially attractive
to
games hosts, by staging events with larger attendances. I mean, look what darts. Our darts has improved over the lot, and snooker. Yeah, they've made it all. I must admit that the World Bowls at Potters is coming along quite nicely with the introduction music and everything that they do. Again, and the colours. You have, gone are the days of white trousers, white t-shirts. I think people have to put some more colour into it because and that's the vibrancy will bring in the youngsters as well, because seeing people walking around like ghosts up and down bowls greens must have been pretty scary.
It looks odd now, seems.
Yeah, it does.
It's been playing for about 40 odd years.
In colours, we've got colours now, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, whites look odd, I meant.
Yeah, we've got to have the colour. You've got to introduce the colour into it all. It's there's a long way to go. Hence Bowls Revolution.
And so that's what we're trying to do here, is to try and help this along. But the clubs have to consider the bigger picture when they're thinking about how their club operates, and the bigger picture is we've got to make the sport more popular and appeal to youngsters.
Yeah.
And then we stand a chance of getting into the Olympics.
I think don't a lot of parents and grandparents introduce their grandchildren to bowls. I think that's how people get into it. What we need to do is get out to the schools with some short mats and get them involved in one of their PE lessons. Get them involved in a little bit of short mat bowls and just show them what it can be like, and then introduce them to the long green.
Positive action is what we need. And do you think writing to our national organisations like Bowls England and the English Indoor Bowling Association, because I wouldn't rule out totally that indoor bowls, it would be so easy to do that. You haven't got to worry about changing weather conditions or things like that. So, indoor bowls is still a possibility even in the summer. Maybe, because I think that's where the sport's going anyway.
Absolutely, and not only that, it's not beyond the realm of, or beyond the wit of man to utilise a local bowls green to do all this sort of thing on. You haven't got to build a huge stadium, have you? You can utilise a local bowls green, a local indoor bowls club, and it work beautifully. So there's not a lot of cost for the Olympic Committee to even consider about that either.
So do you think it's effective to write to our national organisations then?
Absolutely, I think it would be silly not to. I think we've got to. And clubs, if you're out there, do it. Get involved. If you want to see bowls on the Olympics, then we've got to work at it. It's not going to happen just overnight. We've got to work at this. So write to your authorities. Write to Bowls England. Write to the EIBA, and let's lobby for it. if we can.
Right, your turn now. Now, what's the Angry Club Bowler been up to?
Oh, angry club bowler. Oh, bless his heart. The angry club bowler says, well, he was raging about lucky wicks. And I think he was on the green and somebody got a lucky wick and the team applauded it. Oh, the angry club bowler was raging. What do you think about it, he says. And I say, it's naughty. You shouldn't applaud lucky wicks. It's bad etiquette.
Well, it is. I agree with that, but outdoors especially, you can see those shots sometimes to come off another ball.
Yeah, you can.
For those people who know how you can play the game very well, but you know the difference between somebody who just chucks it up and gets a wick and somebody who's actually playing for one. So I think basically the reply to that is no, we don't clap wicks.
No, you shouldn't.
Unless we're certain the shot was intended.
Unless you're certain the shot was intended. But you shouldn't applaud lucky wicks. It's bad etiquette. So, angry club bowler, don't let them get away with it. Bad etiquette. Okay.
Right. Now we've got a technical question for Get the Ump.
What's this? What's this technical question?
To do with leaving the green. Now, I witnessed somebody playing a game of singles, and they were close to losing the game, and all of a sudden they went off the green to get their head together. Now, were they allowed to? Was it the right thing to do?
Oh,
I'm interested.
Well, having consulted the Grand Grimoire, the Book of Umpire Spells, it says here, leaving the green during the course of play. You are allowed to leave the green if game is stopped to get your waterproofs on, for example. But you can have up to 10 minutes to do that. But leaving the green during the course of play, it is permissible for players to leave the green to get waterproofs or visit the facilities, for example, but there are some conditions relating to the use of substitutes.
Yeah,
A player...
Haven't you got to isn't there something about there, you've got to have the...
List whilst I tell you.
Okay.
Honestly, he's a marvellous advertisement for being single. A player can only leave the rink for no more than 10 minutes and only with permission from the opposition.
It's a bit I was looking for, yes.
Yeah, there you go. 10 minutes only, but with permission from the opposition.
Yeah.
But if play is stopped by an umpire, for people to go and get their waterproofs and things, you can have up to 10 minutes there. So the general rule is 10 minutes. End of story.
With permission.
With permission from the opposition.
Right, okay. Right, I've only got a little bit of feedback to mention, and that is somebody who wrote and told me that I needed a haircut and a shave, which I thought was rude.
Well, you do need to stand a bit closer to your razor, but...
Everyone's a critic.
Anyway... Is that it?
That's it, oh yes.
That's it, right. Oh, well then, here we go.
All right, okay.
Fans, cheers.
This is diluted.
No, it's not, you lying toad. May you never rust.
Yeah, indeed.